We're not playing Smash.
Yeah, we're playing Dragon Tales.
We did, yeah. Dragon Tales, I forget the theme. Yeah, that had. I remember that having a really memorable theme song, and I've completely forgotten it.
Yeah.
Annoying.
I guess it wasn't memorable, was it?
You're like earwormy at the time. No, we're doing Spyro because we didn't want to do 3 Smash streams in a row.
Yeah.
And we put off Spyro for a little while. That and Pokemon were very close to finishing.
Yeah. Oh, if you want, you can. I guess the only copy of the picture I have is with me.
Yeah, you started drawing.
Yeah,
but we don't have like a scan of it.
Yeah, I took up sketching. Did some. I did some work. I'll see if I can throw it up on the Discord or something.
Did it always have that box? Did it always have the like bars on top and bottom?
That I remember.
Oh, okay.
What happened to the audio?
It's probably muted. Where's the TV remote?
It's over here.
Spyro. Entering demo mode.
Fry.
Yeah, we're good. Spyro for Smash 5.
Maybe that's one of the.
I'm waiting. I'm really expecting Crash. At least Crash.
Oh,
probably
loud.
Spyro. Spyro still hasn't been announced for Switch or PC.
It's a shame.
Supposedly there was like a like on the UK website they accidentally listed it for a time as available on Switch though. So.
Wow, some accident.
Hey, 77 Spyro. A derpy hunter avatar. So we're on the last world of the game.
Yeah, but you're gonna do gym cleanup.
I'm gonna start by doing some of that so that we can do a little bit of catch up. And it's again hard 2 hours today. Well, unfortunately this week has not been great for. Oh hey, I'm already making progress.
Hey, you know what? At least we're streaming.
Yeah. Where are we going? Sunrise.
This has been better than previous weeks where we've had shitty schedules.
Yes, it has.
So,
I set the bitrate a little bit higher, not above like Twitch limits, but from like 2500 to 3000. I don't know if that might improve the video quality a bit, because I realize even games that we have right on the PC end up coming out kind of blurry looking on YouTube, and I'm not sure why that is.
maybe it's a codec thing.
I don't know. Maybe. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, you drew a wrestler.
Yeah, Tomohiro Ishii, aka the Stone Pitbull. He's I showed off the picture to other people, and the reception's been mostly positive. So I'm eager to get it up and just show other people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw it up on Imgur and throw it in the description of this video.
It's not in any way lewd or pornographic,
No,
is it?
It is not pornographic.
Because the internet's getting kind of mad about that nowadays.
Oh yeah, did that thing pass?
Something akin to it. There was some kind of thing that passed that all the... Basically what it does is it makes, it used to be that websites would not be liable for if users put anything illegal on them, and that changed. Now the websites are liable, so websites are getting really, really touchy in order to cover their asses. That was part of the Tumblr thing.
Oh, they saw it was going to pass, and then they are like, oh, they're like, abort, abort.
Nope, take all the lewds away. We can't run any kind of risk whatsoever.
But that's only for, like, European Union affiliated countries.
It's not 13.
It's not?
It's United States.
Oh, really? That thing's gone through?
Something like
that.
that.
So what the fuck is the European Union shit?
That's Article 13 is, I think it's something similar.
Is that the anti-meme, like, fucking...
Yes, it's the anti-meme law.
God damn
no,
it.
no, I don't, I think it was very similar. I think there are two very similar bills that have, to my knowledge, both passed. I'm not sure, though. Zare or someone posted it in the Discord with the official links.
It's fine. We can all do porn with our imaginations. Until until they find a way to punish, to legitimize and/or punish thought crime. I think we're all fine.
Yeah. Forgive me, Maria, for I have sinned.
Also, I don't think straight up text is illegal, so just get good at novel. So there's gonna be a boom in like
Oh sweet, I'm in business. I'm gonna start writing all the erotica.
Yeah.
God, I hope we didn't miss any here. I don't like playing as Sheila.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this track. Yeah, so
it'll pass. It's already very heavily opposed by a lot of people. It's still.
Didn't they called the thing is that they called it something. They called it something so that you'd feel bad for like just talking shit about it, or because they called it something like very
I don't remember that.
Baity.
Yeah.
Like the protection against like child trafficking law or something.
Yeah, that was the America one.
Yeah.
Article 13 I heard more complaints about in regards to like the Twitch music stuff that was going on. Because now Twitch is gonna be liable if people like put music that's not supposed to be up on their streams or something was the fear.
You know what? I can't wait for a company to try it. So are they just gonna try to supersede fair use then? Because now YouTube has more of a dog in the fight of like,
I don't think
against.
It's not a matter of what they're gonna enforce or not. It's about what risks the companies, the websites are willing to take. So they're just gonna ban everything, so there's no risk.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So is YouTube? So does that mean that YouTube finally is gonna ban the hate speech?
I don't know how YouTube's been affected, if at all, yet.
YouTube's very big. I don't think. Can you imagine like big companies trying to sue YouTube? Like
YouTube,
like really Sony trying to sue YouTube because now they're being held liable. Now that would change YouTube's whole tune.
I don't think YouTube realizes how much power it has, because they still act very skittish in many legal ways.
It's a gentle giant.
Yeah.
And in many ways, I feel kind of bad because
YouTube doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It doesn't know how to adapt to what it has become. As with a lot of things on the internet, we're in a world in motion.
Yeah.
In transition, rather.
Well, yeah. Well, on one hand, that's going on. On the other hand, you haven't been following the Donald Trump stuff, have you?
What's been going on with Trump?
The
old Trumpster.
It's getting much worse for him.
Oh.
There's a bunch of evidence coming out. There was like a Russian defector that was acting as a double agent, and she agreed to like give information to the U.S. And you know that.
So it's someone who was working with Russia when the thing happened, but has now defected.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I thought you were gonna say they were a defector when the like scandal took place. Like Russia was like, no, we were not involved. It was this other person who was totally against us.
People are actually now starting to see jail time. The Trump lawyer, what was his name?
That
Cohen?
guy.
I think his name was like Cohen or something.
The Cohen brothers.
He's the one they don't talk about. No,
We don't talk about that one, Luigi.
He's getting jail time.
Yeah.
For his like role.
Let's
and
bring politics to our Happy Dragon stream. I don't care.
You
We
know
got
what?
nothing else to talk about.
Politics is looking pretty good right now. Like he did a disastrous like PR stunt which he tried to show off an imaginary wall at like the border of Mexico.
Okay.
Or something, and it cost him like several $1 million, and it just pissed people off. Both sides of the.
I'm confused. I'm just imagining him standing at the border, motioning to a wall that isn't there. People try to convince him it's not there, and he is just dead fast assertive that it is.
It turns out he spent like several $1 million hiring a company to recruit a bunch of like border guards, and they only managed to like hire 2 people.
Okay. Are they gonna build the wall?
Maybe.
Are they Mexican?
Yeah, he was caught like making plans. This is way before this like all this stuff was coming out. He was caught making plans to like build fucking tower in like a Trump like in Russia.
I'm just imagining a fucking like Eye of Sauron at the Mexican border.
No, not at the Mexican border, in Russia.
Oh.
That's even worse.
Gotta keep an eye on there.
And then when he was like confronted, he responded by saying it was, quote, very legal and very cool, unquote.
Okay. It's cool looking.
Yeah, and so yeah, the James Comey of basically his report has basically indicted Trump in like multiple crimes, and Trump's response was like, "No, it's not true." Yeah. He doesn't like provide any evidence it's not true or
he says,
anything.
"Nah, it's full of lies. It's a scandal. Someone's framing me."
the Democratic deep state.
It's all the Democrats.
But her emails, though! That's basically what it's come down to, is that they're finding all sorts of different stuff about him. Meanwhile, these people are... Meanwhile, they're all focusing on just one particular part.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter, considering all signs are pointing that climate change is going to kill us all in 20 years, but you know what? I'm glad to...
At least justice will be served before those 20 years are up.
Either that or society will break down and a bunch of individuals will come, like, at all the people that fucked them over and just, like, you know, give them the old... Are you off your skateboard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you crash, then you don't need to get on one. I guess once you get on a skateboard, it starts the timer for score attack.
Yeah, but
which I don't think there's another egg for, but there is a skill point, if I remember right.
But you're just doing the gems, so
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We will... I forget what you get for the skill points in this game, if that's going to be something we need to do or not. No gems up here.
It's... Yeah, that's fine. The main reason why I took up drawing was because, in the event that things are shitty enough in the next few years, that like, the world will end or whatever, I'm gonna start it now and get good at it, just because it was on my, my bucket list.
Yeah?
Hey, you got them all. Good job.
I'm on the roof!
Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy life.
That's all you can do.
And then I'm also gonna study all the Fallout games, just so I can, you know,
just in case.
I'll have practice. I'll have training.
Come on, Sheila.
Find an ancient like secret government facility and get a Garden of Eden creation kit. And bring it back here.
You need a woman for that?
No, it doesn't come with the woman in the Fallout verse. Oh. It just comes. It's just a bunch of like technology that.
I don't know Fallout.
I better go check on those billy goats again.
Again?
Yeah.
Hiya, Sheila.
Here's how you do a Fallout game.
Yeah.
You get a nuclear blasted environment. You throw a bunch of super mutants and ghouls in there, and you make it online.
Yeah.
And you just have them, and you just become a shit like Rust copy.
I take it that's Fallout 76.
Yeah. It's been some time, and still nobody is really defending Fallout 76.
If anything, it's gotten worse since launch.
Well, the reason why it's gotten worse is because Bethesda seems to have made every poor decision possible.
Yeah?
So did you hear about this?
What's going on now?
Basically, Bethesda, they promised people. This was a while ago. They promised people who pre-order like a special edition that they would get a certain bag, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a canvas bag. It's like
in real life.
Yes, in real life, because
I heard some things about this. And then they just couldn't deliver.
They gave them nylon bags.
Oh,
actually,
which were cheaper to
that
manufacture.
was work. And then they're like, no, we're not gonna do anything about it. Sorry, and
sorry.
And people got really pissed off to the point of claiming like, yeah, you know what? This shit's false advertising.
Yeah, and it was. Didn't they get sued?
Fine. Give us like information, and then we'll get it to you. And they did. And I don't know if this was related or not, but like a little while after that, it was found out that like the Valve support tickets, that anybody could access them and view them.
Yeah.
And those tickets didn't just include like information, also included like names and addresses and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking bad. That's a security issue.
Yeah.
And
with Valve or with Bethesda?
With Bethesda. Bethesda support ticket. So yeah, that's too bad. That's like 2 strikes. And then turns out that some people who were trying to get the canvas bags, the Bethesda basically said, "Oh, we don't have enough information to confirm you actually purchased this, despite providing information." So they're trying to weasel their way out of like as many as they can.
Yeah. Do we have chat on?
We should.
There'll be no stopping them unless we can smash the huts. The huts are too big to smash with your
Like
bare
Jabba the Hutt?
I'm using your stomp attack to smash them instead. I'll confuse them with taunting while you...
Whatever. We already did this. Can't you just remember that we did this? Oh, no, wait. The enemy's got to respawn.
The only good hut is a dead hut.
Oh, I see thingies. Don't mind me, just gonna use your house.
That first section of Return of the Jedi, except instead of Jabba the Hutt, it's Donald Trump.
Just there with a half-naked Leia.
Oh god,
isn't she beautiful, folks?
That actually would be kind of funny if they just replaced Jabba the Hutt with a gross-looking human. And make his... Because I can't... Despite how loathsome Jabba the Hutt is, I can't really fucking hate him. He just looks too ridiculous. He's like, I could shoot this motherfucker.
Why is he orange, Chewie?
That's because his mother was a Twi'lek.
Come on, Sheila, jump.
Oh man, so also in Return of the Jedi, there's that scene where Luke was fighting that Rancor.
Yeah.
And
no, that's the Sarlacc. Different thing.
Oh, are you talking to me or you?
No, it was a different thing to me. What,
Yeah,
the Rancor fight.
Yeah, the giant, the kaiju dude, not the hole in the ground. And he like kills it, and Jabba gets pissed, but another guy gets sad. A guy who was just like looking at like the dead Rancor and was just starting to cry, just like. And then another guy's confronting him in his alien, or comforting him in his alien language, like, "It's okay, man. It's okay."
Yeah.
And it's just like that story seemed like just this guy who and this Rancor just palling around. He's like, "Fetch boy," getting a stick and just feeding it like and.
He was my friend. I called him George.
Yeah. I remember seeing that scene and I'm like, man, that's rough, buddy. You know what? I don't blame you. You probably really liked him, but you know what?
Oh, Vegeta, can we keep him? Alright, where the hell are they on this
I'd love for Jabba to try that shit with any Saiyan. Just throw Vegeta down there and he just punches its head off. I think that'd be even more tragic to that dude, honestly, or like even more traumatic to that dude.
You know what? That's why Street Fighter characters really can't compete with Dragon Ball characters, however fantastic their powers, is because there's a car destruction sequence in Street Fighter and it takes more than one punch.
Yeah. Just it takes some effort. Oh man, just at the end of that car destruction section, when I finished it, the guy comes like, "Oh my car!
Oh my god!
My car!" And he just cries, and I'm like, man.
Was that in the game?
Yeah. He just gets he gets sad that his car got destroyed, and I'm like, what'd you do to piss this guy off?
What do you what would it have to be in a Dragon Ball game for that mini game to carry over? Like a giant diamond crystal, maybe, or a literal planet.
A planet destruction mini game.
Or like a moon. You have to punch the moon enough that it blows up.
God. I was reminded of that Kirby mini game where Kirby has to show off how strong he is to the other dude, and if you get it high enough, you just crack the planet like nearly in half.
Oh yeah?
That happened in Dragon Ball Super when Aurelie shows up again.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
never fight a gag manga character.
that episode.
Uh-oh.
Was it 1 or 2 episodes?
I think it was just 1.
It was pretty funny. I like that. I like when Goku and Aurelie just recognize each other like, hey, I remember you!
Now we need Goku versus Ataru.
Oh, man. Are you hitting on my wife? No, sir!
Yeah, she's hot!
And then,
You wouldn't be ashamed of it. You crazy?
well, okay, yeah, you're right. He would give a fuck, especially if he could survive what Goku.
He would whimsically dodge all of Goku's attack like Bugs Bunny, and Goku would just not realize he was being whimsical, and he's like, wow, this guy's really good!
Hey, we should fight! No, that's okay. Oh, man. He is like, he's got the wit of Bugs Bunny, but the unfortunate tendency to get hurt like Daffy.
Yeah?
That's how I would describe Ataru. Is that he's a combination of both.
Then you got Godai, who isn't even slapstick, and life still just beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, go die. I haven't been able to bring myself to watch past that one episode because
Maison Koku.
Yeah, the one other like non-love interest randomly kisses Ataru and the manager just happens to see,
well,
and that's how the episode ends.
We're in the climax.
And I'm like,
I'm good. I don't need to see more. Oh, hey, I found them. Open up.
Besides, you know what? Venture Brothers is really good, and that carries a lot less awkward baggage.
Yeah. The most awkward character in Venture Brothers is that, the man-child space guy. I'm not crazy about him.
Oh yeah, he came back. We watched that episode.
That was the most recent one.
Yeah,
we say this every time. It was a very weird episode.
I mean, its structure is weird, but it's a good show still.
Yeah.
I haven't had any complaint. I haven't had any bad moments watching that.
Season 2 especially has been just all over the place with like 5 or 6 plots going on every episode.
Yeah, which for the show it's parody, which only really had one plot. I think. Like,
as far as I know,
Quest,
I never watched Johnny Quest.
Oh man,
that was like a.
I think
early 80s, 70s even.
I think my parents owned a DVD, like a bootleg DVD of Johnny Quest, like the original. The only I didn't watch Johnny Quest regularly at all in any point in my life.
Yeah.
I watched The New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
There was a new one?
Yeah, it was called The New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh.
It was Johnny Quest, Ray Spannon, his dad, Dr. Quest. And then they introduced they still had the
Haji?
Yeah, Haji, but they introduced a new character, a female who was, I guess, Johnny's cousin.
Oh, okay. Were they fucking? Was this a Ben? Was this a Ben and Gwen cousins?
No, it was pretty chaste. I was wondering why they weren't. It was real they were cousins, and I'm like, oh, okay.
They forgot to remove the romantic overtones in Ben 10.
Man, we should watch it someday.
Yeah?
That sounds hilarious, just...
Man, why is there so much, like, romantic tension between these two of their cousins?
You know what? I don't judge.
I don't got a problem with it, it's just surprising that America would do it.
I get uncomfortable with a lot of things. I will say this. If you are, like, into incest, I don't give a fuck if you are. Just, you can do what you want in that regard. Just...
There's the key. There's the key,
As long as you both are into it, it's fine. Both you and your sister, daughter, mother, cousin, you know what? This is a controversial opinion. I'll say it. I don't even mind if you guys are whatevers.
Yeah, I think that would be like the most acceptable one is step siblings because there's no blood relation.
Oh man, it's so weird. Is that I feel like now I'm doubling down into my degeneracy. I guess I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Pornhub it's weird. There's like a bunch of like taboo porn on there, but they don't want to go all the way, so they always like wuss out and go for like step whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just like that's all. It's just a bunch of like steps and stuff. It's like so many steps. It's like the infinite stairway in Super Mario 64.
Yeah. Now, are they actually like step siblings?
No,
or is it just
they're all
staged?
actors.
Yeah. Are you sure?
There's two types of okay, here's the thing. There's two types of quote unquote like taboo porn, right?
Yeah.
There's the first kind, which is just actors acting out a scene.
Then there's the illegal kind.
Is it illegal? I don't know. Well, there's rumored stuff, and you can immediately tell which one is which.
Yeah.
Because the rumored legal stuff, or real stuff, because the former always is like overproduced and looks like porn stars, whereas the latter, it looks like it was filmed via cell phone and is just like from one angle, and it looks amateur as fuck.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, people are split over which one's hotter. Although I think the majority is in the latter with like the cell phone quality footage because it looks real, looks raw.
But it's all terribly acted.
Not the amateur stuff. They don't act. They just kind of fuck.
They act.
No, they
to some extent.
They just fuck.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue. It's just two people just fucking, and you watch them.
With all due respect, I think I have more experience on Pornhub than you.
You have more experience at Rule 34 than I do.
That too, yeah.
That too.
Where the hell are these gems? Hey, you. I just killed him. Maybe
I just get into some moods where I'm just like, I wonder how deep this rabbit hole goes.
But then you don't go very deep. I go way deeper than you. I go elbow deep, baby.
Hey, do you subscribe to Pornhub Premium?
No.
No?
That costs money.
It costs $10.
Yeah?
Well, you know what?
Confessions with Jack.
Okay, I don't, but, so that means we're on even ground.
In terms of pay, yes. Neither of us are stupid enough to pay for Pornhub.
Stupid enough. I did do the free trial though, for a week, and and you know what? It's not worth it. I feel like if you
You get like 1.5 times the amount of ultra vanilla shit.
All right, so no, you get access to premium videos from Blacked.
Oh.
You ever heard of Blacked?
No, is it Black Pornhub?
No, it's basically white people like having sex with. It was interracial porn.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super kinky. Ha ha.
Well, considering the amount of like right-wing nut jobs that are willing to expose themselves on like the internet, yeah. Just
interracial porn. How is that still like a thing? How is that a kink? It's only kinky or abnormal for like KKK members.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
like,
forbidden. That's what makes it sexy.
Why
has it gotta be forbidden?
A bunch of KKK members going home and jacking off to interracial porn.
Because it's in secret.
It's taboo.
I can't. That's all I can picture, though. Like, it's acceptable. Although it should be acceptable.
Yeah. So the weirdest, interracial video I've ever seen was this isn't like anything to do with the actual content of the video. It had to do with the audio.
Yeah.
So it was just a compilation of like white guys like having sex with black women.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, there was this audio by I don't know the author, but the thing was called "Combat Liberalism."
Was it a song or was it like a guy talking?
No, it was a woman talking.
Oh.
It was some like political propaganda that was playing in the background.
Okay.
And there was another video like that, which was like talking about the correct thought.
I'm trying to listen for it, and you'd have to like supercharge into it.
So
maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, you can check. I don't know why I was talking about that. I just thought that was. I don't know. Maybe I want somebody to do something about it.
Yeah. How many are we still missing? We're missing 7 somewhere. That's probably not enough to be in a hidden wall. Shut up!
Yeah, my back's been really bothering me these past few days. It's to a point where last night got like really rough. Like for me physically, not like in terms of like work.
Yeah.
And I just was like, okay. I started to go home. I grabbed some pasta, like some stuff to make some pasta from from the store. Grabbed some meatballs, and then I went home. And then while I was cooking, I had grabbed like 1 liter of like cherry Coke, threw it in the bottle, and grabbed some rum from my stash, and just. Last night's pain drove me to drink.
Yeah?
And that rarely happens.
You still got some, like, mics in the fridge, don't you?
I do. I felt like rum, though. I like rum.
Rum! 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 Yar! Shout out to Ailstorm.
Ailstorm, a fantastic pirate metal band. Oh man, I gotta show coworkers Rhapsody of Fire.
Yeah.
Just like
shout out to Rhapsody of Fire. Whenever I need to introduce that band to someone, my first description is always Lord of the Rings: The Rock Opera, because that is like the quickest, dirtiest description, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's darker than Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think Lord of the Rings had like overt references to rape, only like.
They love mentioning it in Rhapsody, though.
God. Well, every time we talk about it, we always mention the fucking plot.
It's not just that one. It's not just that scene, though. The princess, like, killed and raped and thrown in acid. Which is the worst it gets, to my knowledge.
Yeah, that's the
high point of Rhapsody degeneracy. Can we use that word?
atrocities.
Yeah.
Is a better.
They're very, very descriptive in how like awful the demons in Rhapsody are.
By the way, speaking of shoutouts to ContraPoints, who did a video on degeneracy.
Yeah.
In which like the first 5 minutes was her like ogling some muscled
dude.
Okay. Oh man, he's not like his YouTube video is like. It's called The Golden God, and I guess he's like a racist, but he kind of has doubts about it.
Okay. Is he trying to sell himself as like an underdog character? Like he's gonna have his YouTube channel is gonna have a redemption arc?
No,
How did I
because
miss these?
no, basically, ContraPoints is like watching like a bunch of videos with this dude, but I guess it was like kind of. Because he was like saying, we gotta fight against the degeneracy, because it was part of the video. But basically, she talked about degenerates and that how it basically was used to describe the people not like us.
Yeah.
So basically, I consider degeneracy to be originally like just a purist dog whistle for hey, these people aren't like us.
They must be destroyed.
So you know what? Yeah, we'll take it back. It'll become our version of like just taking something and owning it. So yeah, degeneracy.
I mean, literally speaking, the word means that they're like people are de-evolving, right? Like going back to a previous, less refined state.
A more natural state.
Brother Para! These people call me degenerate. Is that bad? Should I be offended?
No, brother, it is not bad. It just means you know how to live life.
I thought that was hedonist.
There's literally no difference. In my opinion, there's literally no difference between the term hedonist and degenerate.
Yeah.
I think hedonist is used to describe like people who think that they.
I mean, they're used in the same way.
Well, I think hedonist is more like ritzier and fancier, whereas degeneracy is like, you know, low hedonism.
That is how the words are used.
Actually, isn't that term isn't the high fancy degeneracy just called decadence?
Or hedonism, yes.
Yeah, there's
in
hedonism.
a way.
There's general hedonism, then there's high hedonism in decadence, and low hedonism in degeneracy.
Like high fantasy is high hedonism?
High fantasy, low fantasy.
It's hedonism with effort put into it.
So what's surreal hedonism?
That's when you have, like, you have trained, like, bats to rub your nipples or something. Something outlandish.
What would we call that?
Alfred, the bats are misbehaving again.
I will discipline them, sir.
Degenerate Batman.
Oh, that did really?
What's degenerate Superman like?
He's fucking a dictator. I guess. No, he is a dictator. I don't know.
That's Injustice version. I'm talking about Prime Superman. Hey Lois, I want you to be on top. Oh,
Superman with a libido? Oh no! Don't tell the Boy Scouts.
Oh no! You know what? He's the son. Like,
Isn't he technically a prince? Superman?
he's just the last of an alien planet. I actually think his dad was like a scientist or
Oh,
something.
he was a brilliant scientist.
Because if you ever watched like that Superman
Animated series?
yeah, it was actually pretty good. I liked watching that. And the first episode was his dad saying like, "Hey, I did some research and this planet's gonna explode. We should all like hide ourselves in the Phantom Zone and like go somewhere else." And they look down and go, Clark or like.
Bardock, you're an idiot. That'll never happen. Lord Frieza would never betray us.
And then, naturally, the planet starts to explode. He puts the sun on a spaceship, and then, like, flies him away.
Goku really is just knockoff Superman.
He's
Japanese knockoff Superman, yeah. I mean, he grew into a very pretty different character, but
he was. Well, the thing is that Superman was always intended to be like this ultra badass, whereas Goku wasn't even originally intended to be an alien.
No, but his origin story, rather, I should say.
Yeah, his origin story ended up becoming like
he's ripped straight out of Superman.
Although the Kryptonians are probably more benevolent than fucking Saiyans.
Oh, I would hope so.
In that universe. By the way, apparently in the alternate universe Saiyan planet.
Yeah. The one with what's the little guy's name and like Khalifa? No.
Yeah. Kaba.
Kaba.
And it turns out that the planet's name is like Planet Salada.
Yeah.
And is ruled by a guy called King Salada.
It's like a really light Vegeta.
Well, yeah, the Saiyans are more like noble they're more like Klingons in, well, actually, no, because Klingons are also, like, really violent in...
Can you imagine if Vegeta just... Well, I was gonna say Vegeta had a son, but wait, he does have a son.
Yeah, he has a son.
Could you imagine if he had, like, an annoying little shit of a son who was just constantly, like in the Cell Saga? Okay, now I guess Trunks kind of counts for that. Fuck it. Vegeta is Worf. Forget I said anything.
Was his kid that annoying? I thought his kid was just, like... It's pretty chill.
I've heard not good things about the Worf's Kid episodes.
I've heard more bad things about Wesley.
Yeah. Him too.
Alright, so... All us degenerates need to unite together. We need to, like, invoke a common...
Isn't that what Rule 34 is?
Well...
There's like a porn community online. And they always post stuff on Rule 34 like, hey, the US is passing this dumb bill, here's how you can oppose it.
You know what I notice is that the comment sections of a bunch of, like, porn sites are mostly very reasonable.
They're usually a lot more tolerant than actual people or, like YouTube comments.
Yeah,
because
go on YouTube comments, you see a bunch of people arguing about whether something's right or not. You go on, like, You go on...
And if someone does that in a like a Gelburu comment, they get criticized. Like, dude, we're all degenerates here. Fuck off. Be accepting.
Yeah. And the thing is, I feel, is that, is really what should, what was I gonna say? We should just invoke, like, a law, like, common ethics when it comes to degeneracy. Like, step 1, don't actually harm anybody when pursuing your degeneracy.
Yeah.
And step 2, be kind to your fellow man.
Yeah. Or just like grow out of the Middle Ages and stop being so repressed.
Yeah, and step 3, treat everybody equally.
Yeah.
Treat everybody like you would be treated.
God damn it, Sheila.
Sheila!
Can Sheila swim? Yes. Slowly. Like she runs.
I wonder if speedrunners hate this level. Or these... I'm sure speedrunners hate all the fucking,
Because Spyro can charge everywhere. It's so nice to... Like, you had trouble with the controls, but once you master them, it's so nice to be able to move through the game quickly, just because you're skilled enough to do so.
I've seen the speedrunner times for these games, and they're pretty nice.
Yeah?
So,
And then you get these characters who are... I don't mind that they tried other characters, they're just not as fleshed out gameplay-wise as Spyro.
Yeah! That's a problem you see when... Remember that, phase in gaming where multiple characters were all the rage? Like, hey, you can play as this guy, or you can play as this guy.
But I bought a game about Spyro. Why can't I just play Spyro?
Yeah,
I mentioned this in my, my current Crash game stream, is that people give the PS2 one a lot of shit. Just because it was basically a clone of Crash 3. But it was a clone with better gimmicks. There are more platforming levels and less, like, crappy vehicle segments.
For which game?
Wrath of Cortex, the PlayStation 2 one, is the one I'm currently on.
Maybe some people like them. Like,
Ow!
there are people who actually, like... here's the thing: is that the closest I can find to somebody actually liking Fallout 76 were people who said, "Well, I like the concept of it, but it
not
was
the execution."
Yeah, it was executed poorly. That's the
best words you can find.
That's the best I can find about the game. Which, for other people, it was even just like, "Well, there's no fucking story." Which there isn't. It's just a bunch of like.
Which is like the main draw of most Fallout games.
Yeah,
right?
I would say all Fallout games to a degree. Like the best Fallout games were the best like modern Fallout games of the Fallout games was Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Despite it being buggy as fuck, but that's becoming more and more clear that that's Bethesda's fault.
Yeah, and it's not changing.
Yeah.
Unless they stop seeing sales, it's not changing.
They've stopped seeing sales. Fallout 76.
Unless they stop
had
seeing
to cut
them
the
for 2
price
days in a row.
They had to cut the price by like 2/3. It's doing poorly.
Yeah. But it's not enough. They're still probably not going to change the engine because they're Bethesda.
Maybe they will after this.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be like, hey.
I think it'll take them another flop of a game. So if that doesn't happen, I don't think it's going to change too soon.
Maybe if Starfield does poorly.
What's Starfield?
That's Bethesda's attempt at making a space RPG.
Oh. Like, StarCraft? Does that count?
That's a space real-time strategy game.
Ah, right.
Oh God. There was a cutscene in StarCraft, right, where a bunch of aliens start attacking these two Terran dudes, Terran, the human race.
Yeah.
And then one guy turns to the other guy's like, "I've always loved you," and the other guy just kind of looks like, "Oh God damn it, this is how I die."
Yeah.
I wish there was. It's that 80-20 rule in effect. Did I mention that on stream?
Yeah, we have.
Very good.
Started with Hitman, which is 80% serious, and then you have an ending where he like flies away in a flamingo suit.
Yeah, that's optional though, but it's still funny. Or like when in the Christmas special where he dresses up as Santa and one of his escape routes is disappearing up a chimney.
Yeah.
Or when he's able to like this is something I didn't mention, when he's able to like perform a really cool drum solo in order to blend in.
Yeah.
To like something.
He just has this ability.
Yeah. Maybe he that's the thing, is like maybe he trains for it, like in situations like that. Especially for the more esoteric skills.
Maybe he's just a drummer. Maybe we just don't know about his personal life.
That's his hobby.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that his whole character is that he takes really good satisfaction in a job well done. Like when a hit goes like really smoothly and he doesn't like kill. That's another thing, is that he doesn't like killing people who aren't targets.
Yeah.
I mean, he's willing to do it, but he doesn't like it. He's like, I don't enjoy this, as he shoots a random guard in the head. But, yeah, he doesn't like killing innocents. He's very nice for what he is.
Yeah.
He's like if Hit had more of a core personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, he takes extreme satisfaction in a job well done. So if it means like dressing up as a waiter, delivering the best damn like customer service to a dude in order to get close to a target, he's willing to do that.
Well, it'd be suspicious if I was a crappy waiter.
If I was a crappy waiter, I'd draw attention to myself. I don't want to do that. He delivers the sushi to like this high-end Yakuza chef. He's like, "Excuse me, would you like some sushi freshly prepared?" And then she eats it and then proceeds to die. He just walks off, just like, "Yes, done it again, Agent 47.
Isn't this poisonous?
Also, this really doesn't have anything to do with anything, but he gets paid in gold.
Okay, just like bricks?
Yeah, I guess. Just gets paid in bricks of gold, which, you know what? That's just funny enough that I believe it. He's like, "I want to be paid in gold." Agent 47, don't you just want like a bank account with that? No, I want gold.
Gold is in right now. It fluctuates less than the US dollar.
Alright, Agent 47, you'll get your gold. Thank you, Diana. Oh, man. trying to think of other like funny stuff that happened in the original Hitman that I noticed.
What was the original Hitman for? PS2?
Are we talking about the 2016 Hitman?
Whatever the very first ever Hitman franchise game.
That was PC.
Okay.
It started off as like just a standard shooter, right?
Yeah.
And then by 2 they're like, hey, let's just make this do a stealth game.
Wasn't there like a really infamously obtuse and difficult one on the 64?
I don't remember there being any for in 64, but I would believe that it's the first game. I've never played the first game. I haven't even seen footage of it. But by all accounts, you know how you have reverse sequel syndrome?
Yeah.
Where the first game is like the weakest, and then all other subsequent games are much better.
Yeah.
Or most of them. That's what Hitman is.
I feel like that's a lot of video games, though. The first one is almost always the weakest.
It works differently than a movie, whereas the first movie is usually like the best, and then all subsequent sequels are kind of just like, you know,
video game
worse.
sequels happen because there's room for improvement. Movie sequels happen because money.
Video game sequels also happen because money. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Some of them.
But Fallout, or not Fallout. Yeah, Fallout. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Far Cry though.
Assassin's Creed is a notorious one.
Oh yeah, you know,
any once-a-year series. Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. Quick, the next year is up. Let's put out another game.
You know, Watch Dogs was like that too, whereas the first game was considered kind of weak in terms of both story and gameplay. Then they came out with Watch Dogs 2, which had a much better story, a much better protagonist, and like better gameplay.
Yeah.
I like the first Watch Dogs though. Just the concept of playing like as an ultra serious, just like Batman wannabe was pretty funny.
Yeah. Unintentionally so.
Yeah, unintentionally funny. Not like 80-20 rule. You know what? Oh no, 80-20 is way less than 20%. But there was a silly like Aiden Pierce moment.
Is that the
Watch
Dogs guy?
Yeah, he's always serious. He never really seems to enjoy himself at all when he's doing anything. Except there's this digital drug you can like buy, right? It's just like kind of a mini game, and it's just him just flying through the air. Like, and you have to like bounce off of like platforms and stuff, and the entire time Aiden Pierce sounds like he's having the time. He's like wee, yeah.
It's the 98.2% rule.
Yeah, 2%. You know what? I wish Aiden Pierce was like more fun. That's the thing about like the sequel like protagonist. He was willing to have fun. It was just him hanging out with his hacker collective buddies, just kind of bringing like hacker justice to the world. Whereas in the original game, they kind of turned into the enemies, which kind of sucked.
You still playing chess, Ed? The same game?
Man,
you gotta be kidding me. No, wait, no. I wanna like explore. I wanna get gems.
Gaming is kind of just moved to like being this ultra serious thing for adults, but I would like it if there were like more.
It's just Nintendo now making kid friendly games. Yeah.
I would like to see like a similar character to Ed from Cowboy Bebop getting like a game, like a hacker game, except it's
Kid Hacker.
Yeah, Kid Hacker.
God, I think we have to beat this guy, and then we have the area available to explore.
Attack of the Shark.
Oh, this is so weird. So I hit left and it spins right.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, no. Now it's normal.
What?
Okay, so it interacts very differently with the analog than it does with the D-pad.
So,
Yeah?
there's this guy I saw, like, a guy called Neocranium on YouTube.
Yeah?
And I like him. He's kind of funny. He did there's this long, like, YouTube video I saw. It wasn't quite a stream, but it wasn't, like just a short highlights thing. It was somewhere in between. I think it was like a compilation of multiple streams, actually.
Yeah?
And it was him doing a Resident Evil randomizer.
Yeah?
Which I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Neither did I. Isn't that like a walk around and find the things game?
Yeah, it's a survival horror. So there's levels of combat that you have to decide to choose or avoid depending on whether you want to waste the ammo or not. But yeah, it just randomizes all like the enemies, right? You can encounter a zombie, you can encounter a super zombie.
Yeah?
But apparently an enemy in that game is a shark.
Oh, yeah?
So you randomly just spawn into something, and you see a shark just swimming across the floor, and you go, ah! And meanwhile, this guy, I don't know how old he is, but he looks... doesn't look bad.
Yeah?
Way thinner than I am.
I'd fuck him!
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't fuck anybody, but yeah, he's...
Can I get gems now?
He's pretty funny.
Jackie!
Jackie.
Thank you. Jesus.
Now we can go...
The waters are safe for swimming once again.
Not like those acid water in that one level.
No, we made them safe again, remember?
So, yeah, Obsidian's coming out with Outer Worlds. Looks pretty nice.
What does Obsidian do? What's their big things?
They invented Fallout. They were the guys who did,
And they did Stick of Truth, right?
Yes, they did. They're basically known for making, good RPGs. And they had the unfortunate tendency of working for companies that really didn't care about quality assurance.
Yeah.
And so as a result, their reputation kind of, like, suffered from that. Because everyone was, like, saying, oh, Obsidian, they make buggy games.
Yeah.
When, the actual, like, truth of the matter is that, LucasArts fucked them, and then, Bethesda fucked them.
Yeah.
So... the first time they got fucked was LucasArts. They were making Knights of the Old Republic 2, which is actually pretty good in terms of like story.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a deconstruction of like Star Wars morality of light side and dark side and stuff like that.
From my perspective, the Jedi are evil.
Okay, it's deeper than that.
I know. I'm just...
My friend, you are crazy. No,
But how did it fuck them? How bad was it?
Well, they had to they had to rush it for a Christmas release, despite the game nowhere being near done. So as a result, a lot of content just got axed.
Yeah.
An entire like robot planet got like left on the cutting room floor.
Always a shame when that happens.
Yeah, and then an entire section of like an entire character side quest where like your robot companion goes and like activates a bunch of other killer robots that follow a certain philosophy that got cut, and then the game really didn't have an ending.
Yeah,
it kind of just ended, and that was it. But yeah, the character. What people remember about it were like the characters and the discussion of philosophy. It was a game that I enjoyed a lot more than like the original, despite the fact the original was still pretty enjoyable.
What was the original made by?
The original, I think it was BioWare. Yeah, it was BioWare. So you have one game that was made by BioWare and the other that was made by Obsidian. You can kind of tell they were both made by both because BioWare is more strict on their morality, whereas Obsidian kind of eschews the easy like answer.
Yeah.
Basically, expect this: in a BioWare game, you can choose to be good or evil, and it's pretty clear cut. Whereas in an Obsidian game, you can choose to fuck this guy over to help this other guy, or you can choose to leave the status quo unchanged Or there could be a third option, which you can, like, help them both out by doing some weird mystical shit.
Yeah. So
yeah, that first game got fucked over. There were also bugs in that one. Second time they got fucked over was by Bethesda, and this one is actually worse because games get Christmas rushed all the time, and I don't like it. I don't believe that should be the case, but that's just that's an unfortunate.
It happens.
It's just regular run-of-the-mill scummy.
Yeah.
Bethesda basically gave them a year to finish Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Which, considering a creation engine, that's either not a whole lot of time or just enough time, depending on who you ask. And they did it, and they did a good job with it. But the thing is that they couldn't do quality control because they were given so little time. They weren't able to do like QA bug testing.
Yeah.
And Bethesda, they didn't seem keen on doing that either.
Yeah. So it just didn't happen.
Yeah, and as a result, the game didn't get as high of a Metacritic score as they needed for a certain bonus. It was 1 point off of like bonus material, so they fucked them out of their bonus and went, well, have a nice day. Which is actually kind of worse, tying up a bonus to like Metacritic scores instead of sales. That's just
bonus, like a
payment bonus. Yeah. They stiffed him on some pay.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a turning point in both of their careers, Bethesda and
Obsidian.
Yeah, Obsidian. So Obsidian sat down with each other and just were like, okay, we're not gonna make buggy video games anymore.
And then they made Stick of Truth.
Whereas Bethesda was like, it wasn't our fault. We didn't do anything.
You guys are too slow in your 1 year.
So, as a result, oh, we're missing a gem. The panda one.
Yeah, we'll have to go there for the egg.
Yeah. Sorry, egg. Yeah, that's what I meant, not gem.
As a result.
So, Bethesda didn't learn shit from it. They released Fallout 4, which was a mixed bag.
I have seen many videos of how like silly graphical bugs in Fallout 4.
Yeah, and they released Skyrim on pretty much anything.
But that's totally bug free. No bugs in Skyrim. No siree.
They remastered, and so and then in the height of their hubris, they made Fallout 76. And if you somehow didn't like catch all the shit that went down with Fallout 76,
yeah. There's been a lot.
Yeah. Basically, they discovered that rather than apply fixes to the engine and just kind of and like just like modify it anyway, they just copy and pasted the Fallout 4 engine over to Fallout 76, and then just reused like assets, and just all they did was like trying to get it to make it run online.
Yeah.
And people naturally were kind of like ticked off at having spent money on it, especially since they had a public beta period, right? Like, hey, if you pay this amount of money, you can get access to the beta. And it was too late in the development cycle that they could do anything about any kind of player feedback.
Yeah. So they just didn't.
It was just like it was a glorified demo. So,
it existed to trick people into thinking they had a voice.
Meanwhile, Obsidian successfully crowdfunded a game called Pillars of Eternity, which did very well and was very well received. They experimented a bit and they did a game called Tyranny, which is basically fantasy Judge Dredd, which didn't do so well, but that was less due to like the gameplay and more due to just the concept being a bit tough to handle.
Yeah.
Which I guess was their impetus to make like I don't know, I want to say lighter games. Then at some point they got financial backing from Microsoft, which meant that they were like bought out.
Because Microsoft wanted that that street cred for, look, we're supporting small game developers.
Okay, as far as, like, big budget companies go, Microsoft isn't too bad. They actually let their game devs do stuff, and they don't really interfere. Unlike, say, Konami, which loves to shove their dick into anything that moves and make it into a pachinko franchise.
Yeah.
But then they're coming out with Outer Worlds, and if that's like bug free, which probably is considering Obsidian's promise to do it, then yeah, we could look at like Obsidian make Outer Worlds and it'd become a hit, and then Bethesda comes out with Starfield. It's the same buggy creation engine mess that it always was, and people are like, you know what, fuck Bethesda.
Well, that'd be nice. Will they buy it anyway is the question.
I don't know. A lot of people got burned with the shit Bethesda did.
Yeah?
Like ignoring the shitty game stuff aside, they handled every, like, thing involving, like, Fallout 76 just awfully.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a company as that big just has to make so many incredible fuck-ups in a row in order to actually lose enough money to matter, sadly.
Or at least have the reputation, like, to EA
No, reputation
levels.
doesn't matter. EA is still making money. EA is still fine.
Yeah, EA is
Needs to be sales. Nothing else.
There's this video in which it was discovered that EA's, like, microtransaction, like, love affair began as far back as, like, 2008, I want to say, with like a random soccer game.
Oh yeah? What did they have in that?
So there was this soccer game that wasn't FIFA. It was like UFA or something.
UFA.
and it had this game had a feature in which you play like games and you earn like money, right? And then you use the money to open up packs for players.
Yeah.
And then some guy looked at that feature and was like, we can use this to make a whole shit ton of money.
But in the original game, it wasn't like a real dollars.
It wasn't real dollars.
It was in-game currency.
Yeah, and in this one, it was purchasable in-game, and he implemented it for purchasable in-game currency later on, and either before or after, he became EA CEO.
Yeah.
So it's all thanks to one person that is the current state of the plague of loot boxes and shit.
Yeah.
Because he saw an opportunity to make money and he took it, and damn the fucking consequences.
Hey, we should take the trading card game route in a game that is in no way a trading card game.
They discussed that in that video that I watched, where the difference is that with a card game you get like a physical like object that's worth something, whereas with digital stuff you don't really.
Yeah.
It's kind of why
I still don't like even card games do it. That's why I refuse to buy trading cards. I will only play card games on online versions.
Despite it being kind of worse because you're not getting any. Oh, you don't actually pay. You're not actually planning on paying for.
No, I will not pay for any amount of like any kind of like trading card games.
No, it's fine.
If I were a big enough fan, then I would maybe pay for them online, but I don't like it. To some extent, that very business model is a paywall. It on some level, it's not who is the better player; it's who has afforded the better cards.
Yeah, I don't like.
And that varies with how bad it is between trading card games. There are some that are definitely a lot worse than others.
The other thing is that with this current like state of gaming is that the bottom's gonna fall out. The companies are intaking like a lot of money, but the thing is that the consumers, there's only so much money they can give, right?
Yeah, especially when it's as competitive as it is.
They've already hit a plateau, whereas like certain game companies are selling like millions of copies, and it's still fucking not enough for the people who are expecting it to be like more.
Well, most people can't afford $60 games.
Not
multiple of them anyway.
Multiple people can't afford multiple $60 games plus all the other shit that comes inside making a game. We're about to hit a fucking like economic recession, and game companies are gonna have to adapt.
Well, the big companies, indies are there. Indies know what to charge.
Oh yeah, Independent games are not only good, they're cheap. It's like I can spend $60 playing a game, which would require me to spend more money to make it competitive.
It's all gonna come down to sales.
Or I'm gonna pay $15 for like a game which randomly reseeds itself every time.
Keeps me occupied for like way more play hours.
Yeah. But those graphics though, the graphics aren't there. I want 60 FPS. Fucking.
I get annoyed by people who dwell on graphics. I don't understand it, but I mean, whatever. If they're paying for it, that's their money to spend.
This will look pretty. It's video game shallowness. There you go. You're up.
We got all the eggs here, so we're good. Protect Nancy the Skater. Fuck Nancy the Skater. I remember her.
I mean, if the game is if the game looks obviously like just a bunch of shit, that's one thing. If the game looks dated, that's another thing.
Yeah. Where are we going next?
Like, as long as I can tell what's on screen with minimal confusion, I'm fine.
Some people are a lot more sensitive to it than I am. Like, you notice frame rates. I don't. I don't see the difference between 24 and 60. It looks exactly the same to my eyes. Maybe I just don't have good enough eyes for frame rates.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that some people are like, "What, you can't see over 24," but I can tell the difference.
I can't.
I mean,
that's all I'm saying is I can't.
Some people can, some people can't.
Some people can, some people can't.
I'm weird in that I can, but it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. Spyro's eyebrows aren't attached to his head. 0 out of 10. Worst game.
It looks smoother to me. Like 60 FPS looks a bit. I mean, 30 FPS is still playable. I don't really mind 30, but
I don't know what this is. Is PS1 24 or 30 maybe? I know it's a 30.
It looks 24.
I know it's a 32X console, which I didn't know for the longest time. I thought it was very similar to 64X, Nintendo 64.
Explains why the graphics in the PS1 look a bit more blocky than 64.
Yeah. Generally, I think they're fewer polygons, I guess, but it has more area to load from, being discs instead of cartridges.
It's not as powerful, but it's got more memory to work with versus N64 having more power but having less space to work with.
Yeah.
Because cartridges are still the wave of the future.
I mean, it wasn't the wave of the future, but Nintendo 64 games could have been very different games if they'd been on discs.
They
I
tried.
will say that.
That's the thing, that Nintendo tried twice to make like a console, the disc drive add-on.
Yeah.
And both times they couldn't do it.
Now, if they had been Sega, they would have tried anyway and run out of money.
Yeah. Man, the
That
Saturn.
was the difference.
The Saturn killed Sega, and the Dreamcast was its swan song.
It's cool to think what would it have been like if the Nintendo 64 disc drive had happened, but at the same time, it's probably for the best that it didn't.
Some guy sketched like an alternate history where the SNES disc drive worked.
Yeah.
Worked out, and that universe basically had Sony and Nintendo renegotiate their deal so Sony would be able to keep all the games they made, all the licenses they made on its games. Because that was the original deal, was that Sony was like, "Hey, we get all your characters," and Nintendo was like, "No, fuck you."
Yeah.
And I think, and it's interesting because there was a comment I saw that apparently nobody else caught. In that universe, Alex Hirsch of Gravity Falls fame, rather than making Gravity Falls, he made a video game version of that concept.
Is that what he had originally wanted to do?
No, he became apparently in that universe the N64 disc drive was so good it turned him into an indie dev.
Oh, okay.
And I guess Binding of Isaac became a cartoon.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just what I thought.
But what about the Super Meat Boy? Did that cartoon fail?
I don't know. You know what? I can see Super Meat Boy being a nice cartoon.
More so than Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. Binding of Isaac would be like an Adult Swim show.
Yeah, it would have to be. Aaron right alongside Drinky Crow.
Yeah. Shoutouts
His
to
fucked up fetus.
Shoutouts to alternatehistory.com. Keep on doing your unique historical fan fiction.
There's a lot of stuff we missed here. Oh.
I don't think I remember this. I don't remember this half pipe.
We probably just didn't go into this particular pit, is all. But we came here. This was where you were trying to figure out for the longest time, how the fuck do I get the score? And then it was just that big ramp and we jumped off, like, did 3 flips.
Oh, yeah. So,
And I'm still toying around with my big idea. I have a magnum opus. I have a series story, but I really don't know what to do with it because it was originally conceived as an animated series, but the way things are going now, I mean, TV's going out.
depends.
The only people who still have TV are old people, which would not be the target of such a show.
The only people who still use cable... I don't know if they fucked the internet up.
To the degree that it's worse than cable, good luck.
Challenge accept. Hold my beer.
And it's not really cut out for a game is the thing, so
Yeah.
I said this earlier in the stream, we're in a time of transition. It is a very, very odd time for creators.
Yeah.
And especially with the current state of the internet, like, entrepreneurship has never been more important.
Yep.
And that is sadly not a skill of mine.
I'm not, I'm not much of an entrepreneur either. Like, what do I sell?
Get it, Sparks! Ooh. I'm trying to figure out how to get on that stupid one thing.
You didn't see the trailer for Outer Worlds, did you?
Is that a Cartoon Network thing? Oh
No,
that's
the Obsidian game.
No, I don't think so.
The game has a sense of humor to it, which, you know, good. Fallout, the Bethesda series is trying to remove that from their games.
Yeah.
Or, oh no, you know, speaking of which, another Fallout 76 thing. You know what a like major boss is?
What?
It's a Scorch Beast.
Okay.
You know what it is?
Is it a big fiery thing?
Yes. It is literally a dragon. It is a nuclear dragon.
Oh, okay.
So, Skyrim with guns.
Oh.
But the Outer Worlds had like a part of a trailer where a woman was like beside two people arguing, a robot and like a woman is like, listen, I know it sucks and neither option is good, but we gotta choose. We gotta choose now. And then you hear a gunshot, and then it's just the player character shot one of them, and then the girl, like, it was like telling him to choose, looked at him, was like, you know, you didn't have to shoot either one of them, right? But you know what? Nah, it's cool. It's okay. It's fine. So
there's that gem glint that renders even in the distance. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, you know this about me, is that I'm not really interested in realistic styled games as a whole. So all of these series,
okay, it looks more
Fallout,
cartoony than
Sky...
it looks more cartoony than that. I will say that it looks. There's a main scientist dude. He's a dead ringer for Rick Sanchez.
All I'm saying is that I don't have really an attachment to these companies because I've never played any of their properties.
Yeah,
Stick of Truth is the only Obsidian game I've ever played.
Yeah, I know this. I think the reason you liked it so much is because it used a fucking Paper Mario combat system.
I mean, I liked it enough to play it.
No,
for a
I liked
while.
it too.
I wasn't crazy about it.
I agree. Wait, what the fuck? Where's...
What?
It's playing the fucking Penguin song, but...
Yeah, there's just a level background here.
I wish more RPGs did the fucking,
Action commands.
Yeah, not many do.
Something to make it, just the gameplay more active. Where am I going? Let's go over here.
I don't think Octopath Traveler did action commands.
I would imagine not. That's a Square game, right?
Yeah, it was basically a throwback to like all those old school PlayStation RPGs, not just by Square, but by other people like Arc Dreams.
What was the Tales of? That was a big one, right?
I don't know when it started becoming 3D. At some point it did, but yeah, the Tales of is another RPG series.
Phantasy Star was the Sega ones.
Oh yeah, the Sega like RPG franchise.
The Sega JRPG franchise specifically.
JRPG versus CRPG.
CRPG?
Oh shit. Well, console RPG? No, like computer RPG.
Someone, I think it was Sarah in the Discord, was saying, "Hey, they figured out Vita emulation. Now you can play Vita." And I'm like, "Cool. If only Vita had games." Because they're all that's on Vita is these big, huge, long JRPGs. Like Disgaea and Persona. Like, you really have to be in those kind of games for a Vita to be worth it.
I thought that was PSP. No,
that too. Both.
Disgaea had been, it was PS2 first, and then it ported over to PC.
I'm just saying those are like the only games on PSP and Vita for the most part. PSP was actually a little better. It had a Daxter game and a Ratchet game. So there's that.
You know what? I actually kind of enjoy Disgaea.
Yeah.
It's got enough of a sense of humor. Also, it has Captain Gordon, Defender of Earth.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unique for a game about, like, demons fighting angels and stuff, and other demons.
We have now unlocked freedom. We are Bird.
I am Bird, Destroyer of Worlds.
What is this, a door? Does this go somewhere? This feels like it should go somewhere. Oh, maybe that Spyro only can go in there. Oh, that's probably a portal to another area. So we already did all the eggs here. I'm just still gem hunting. Looking for missed nooks and crannies.
So if you guys don't want to... If there's anybody here that's watching this that's disillusioned with $60 games and want something like cheaper that's also fun, what are some recommendations?
Spelunky.
Spelunky's really fun.
Spelunky
Randomly
2 coming
generated.
out soon.
What?
Spelunky 2 coming out soon.
Yes, hopefully with online play.
It will have online play. Hopefully with good online play.
Play with your friends.
It'll surely be better than Nintendo Online.
And then there's a game. If you're looking for something that has more exploration and like management and is more RPG, there's the Curious Expedition that I like. You basically play as like an adventurer, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, there's like a list of them, like Mariah Curie, H.P. Lovecraft, I think Charles Darwin is a character, and you go and you try to find ancient civilizations and like negotiate with like natives, and occasionally get it to be set upon by animals and dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, there are a million indie games out there that are very quality.
Yeah.
That I'm sure a lot of people are.
A lot of trash, but a lot of quality. You have another recommendation?
As far as like indie games go?
Yeah.
Spelunky's probably the one I spent most time on. I mean, obviously I spent a lot of time on Awesome Knots, but I can't speak for like quality-wise that much.
Yeah, we haven't played that in a while.
Yeah. And it had some unpopular changes over the years. Was Culling a AAA game?
Culling was not a AAA game.
Okay. Well, it used to be good, purportedly.
Apparently they made it so that it is again.
They went back to, like, day one. They just
undid
everything.
They tried to make a sequel. That failed, and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. This is back on day one.
Let's go back to what worked. Then are they... I wonder if they're just gonna, like, try again to patch it from there, or if they're just gonna leave it and not touch it.
I think they're just gonna leave it. I can't imagine that company's around for much longer.
Yeah, especially with Fortnite out.
Especially, yeah, the Fortnite PUBG Wars, it does not include the culling. I haven't played Fortnite.
No.
I don't know if I ever will. I just have no interest in it. And
I liked... Culling looked interesting to me. Culling came first, for those of you unaware of what the culling is. It was like... Maybe there were other Battle Royale-style games before the culling, but the culling was the first one that kind of started taking off and spawned PUBG and later Fortnite.
PUBG came next, and then Fortnite came after. And the difference is that PUBG was like the most realistic Battle Royale simulator with like a bunch of features, a gigantic map, and like other stuff.
Fortnite was cartoony.
Yeah.
Had dancing and building, because Minecraft is popular.
Yep, and at that point, pretty much everything became Battle Royale-centric. They fucking turned Call of Duty into a Battle Royale!
Yeah, they did, because they can cash in on it.
Black Ops has, like, some of the best stories, and they got rid of the fucking story. You know...
For Battle Royale.
Okay, Fallout 76 doesn't piss me off as much as them fucking up Call of Duty did. And I know I'm saying this about Call of Duty. Call of Duty's the fucking, like...
Joke.
It's like the you're a Call of Duty player, huh? But I actually liked the Call of Duty stories. They were very bizarre. The Black Ops storyline especially, which got into like some CIA mind control shit,
yeah.
and Vietnam like lore. It was very interesting, especially considering the game had like a Fight Club-esque twist to it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, in contrast to the other Battle Royale games, Culling looked interesting to me because it had a lot... It was mostly melee.
Yeah.
And that's what is very different about PUBG and Fortnite, is they're almost all guns.
You really don't like gunplay in games.
I don't. It's not fun to me.
Yeah.
I like running up and, like, stabbing and beating the shit out of things, and Culling looked great for that.
You like when that's a viable option.
Yeah.
Good news. It's Knights of the Old Republic that you can basically... Even when your characters aren't Jedi, you can play with swords.
Yeah.
Just
regular swords, not beam swords?
They have vibro swords, so basically Raiden blades in lore. Apparently
you need Force to use lightsabers. Isn't that canonical?
You need special training, considering that vibro blades have, like, you know, a blunt side and you can kind of grab it without burning yourself, whereas with lightsabers, the entire blade part of it is just untouchable.
Yeah.
So you need special training.
But it's not like they operate on force power.
Nah.
Because I thought that was the case at first.
No. It's like a battery with, like... It's
just a device.
Yeah, it's a device. Han Solo was able to use it to cut open that tauntaun to keep Luke warm. He goes, ugh! I thought they smelled bad on the outside!
Brock Samson really does sound like Han. In some ways.
Han had more of a smooth voice than Brock. Brock was pretty rough.
Yeah. I like it rough, Doc.
Brock is fucking Brock Samson as like the guy who flies the Millennium Falcon.
Kept you waiting, didn't I? Well, they parodied that in Venture Brothers too. He did like the Chewbacca cosplay, right?
Oh yeah, he did. Everybody else was like dressed as Star Wars characters except for Hank, who was dressed as Batman.
I am the Knight.
Oh yeah, and then Dean was dressed as Leia, and that led to a comical misunderstanding where he was engaged to marry Baron Underbite.
Oh, you are so lucky.
What
you
was
have an
that?
ass like a 12-year-old boy.
I'm actually 15. Jesus Christ!
You're doing great.
Thanks. Do you got any gems? I'm missing, like, 2 gems, I think. 8 gems.
What was I doing? What was I thinking about? Baron Under. We said that episode was the most like a Johnny Quest episode.
Yeah. It had a villain. It had an adventure to save the guy from the villain. That was about it, I guess.
It had a resistance movement. Panda's milk.
Different episode, but yeah.
I know, but that was also like a Johnny Quest episode.
You think so? With Mr. Brisby?
Yeah. Do you know about cloning? Cloning? No, I don't know
illegal.
anything about. That's illegal. Of course, with a reaction like that, he would be into cloning.
Hello, dog. Oh God, I gotta lead you through this shit, don't I? Oh, there's a thing if I need to go back up. Dog.
I've been trying to find the complete soundtrack of that series for a while, but there's just some songs that are missing.
Venture Brothers?
Yeah, like, I want to see both parts of the Doctor... I wanted to hear both parts of the Dr. Orpheus theme.
Yeah?
The one where it's, like, the mystical, like low-key when he's, like, alluding to something, and then the actual, like part that's
I only remember the fanfare part.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find either one. That or the... I want to find the fanfare part so bad so I can... do my own Orpheus impressions.
Adult Swim shows don't usually put out soundtracks. They're so low budget.
Yeah. But also, there was that one track that played when they were doing that fake PSA for testicular torsion.
Yeah.
Or the real PSA, I don't know.
It could function as a real one.
Yeah, despite it being, like, awkward and stiff. But I haven't been able to find that track either, which is a shame, because that track sounded retro as fuck.
Perfect Muzak.
Yeah. Because it actually sounded like a fucking Hanna-Barbera cartoon soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it.
Dog. Out of the way, dog.
Oh, yeah, that is a dog. Always looked like a little lion cub to me.
God damn it, dog. Well, now you need to get down, dog. Or I can just, I'll come up. I'll do that. No, that won't work.
No.
Shit. Just all these little tiny gems you left scattered around everywhere.
It's fine. It'll make a stream. It'll make a stream where we talk about current events,
politics, and shitty game companies, and
so there's this video I watched as well, which was kind of like, it was kind of good to see people actually taking like stuff that people say about the game industry seriously.
Yeah.
Because there's this dude who was reacting to a Jim Sterling video about
angry video game nerd.
No, Jimquisition.
Oh.
The game news guy.
Yeah?
The fat one. Dresses in a black suit and, like, red tie.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Has a fancy hat, has a cane. Has a podium where he has a bunch of, like, fucking boglins on it.
I don't know. You go on. They used him in like a video, or they responded to the video.
It was just him watching and reacting to it. I like reaction videos because it's like you can kind of.
But those are trademarked. You can't do those.
Yes, we can. Shut up, React World. But he got like 10 seconds into the actual meat and bones of like it. And he just was like, "What the fuck?" Because he was talking about how this one company was producing like proprietary software for games that allowed people to be made up with, that allowed people who didn't buy microtransaction content to be matched up with people who did, in order to pressure them to buy like microtransaction content.
Yeah.
Because that exists, by the way.
There's a specific company that makes these.
Yeah,
makes this like algorithm.
Yeah, that are used in games that have like billions of whose use in games total up to the number of like billions of downloads. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Not like one game with like billions of downloads or like purchases, but like the games they've made for a total in the billions.
Yeah.
Or millions. No, fuck it. I'm gonna say billions. He was just watching this, and he was just like fucking, like,
appalled?
Just, yeah! And I'm like, oh, honey, it gets worse.
Is he aware of the mobile games industry?
Anyway, he was countered by a troll And rather than telling him to get out, he told him, like, no, you need to sit and watch this! This is fucking horrible!
He was while streaming?
Yeah, I guess he was streaming, like, World of Warcraft, and then he was made aware of this video.
Yeah.
And he just was watching it, and he was like, I gotta watch more of these. This shit's, like, bad. But yeah, this, I always notice when an argument is more reasoned, because you have people who point out a bunch of different issues, and meanwhile you have a person on the defensive whose only like response is, "Oh, it's a company; they're supposed to make money," or "Oh, it's just cosmetic." It's just kind of like deflections,
yeah,
without like actually addressing the problems. And you can kind of tell, like, when a person knows in their heart that what's going on is wrong.
Don't you people have phones?
No. Don't you people have phones? But we wanted a Diablo game for PC. Don't you people have phones? And then they get pissed off that that people aren't reacting to their news of their mobile game well, and they're called gamers entitled.
Do you think if that was on Reddit, it would have been the most downvoted comment? Would it have competed?
I don't know if it could compete with. We want our players to enjoy a sense of pride and progression when they unlock something.
With loot boxes.
But
AAA games are just they're so far up their ass right now.
Yeah, they are. That's what Jim Sterling has been saying for like 3 years. Is man, these AAA market is no, he doesn't say just AAA. He goes AAA. He always uses that
games by people who don't play video games.
We want to make as much money as possible off of video games. Artistic quality, what's that?
Oh, well, the movie's been to the box office already, right? Why keep the reels? Burn them!
They don't do that anymore, fortunately.
Yeah. They're like activist groups who prevent that.
Yeah, there better be.
This level fucking sucks.
Yeah, I didn't like this level before. I still don't like it.
It's so big.
If it's not one thing with the AAA companies, it's another. Like,
every one of them fucks up in a different way, too.
Yeah, even Rockstar.
Yeah.
And the point is that Rockstar's games are these days usually pretty good. Nobody's disputing that. The problem is that they treat their employees like shit.
Don't they also have, like, ludicrously expensive items that you can buy in GTA? That you have to get, like, spend $60 in real world money to get enough game money.
And guess what Red Dead Online is looking like?
Same.
Yeah, they're actually gearing up towards microtransactions. So even Rockstar's not immune from the fucking microtransaction bug.
Well, it's always been the case. I mean, I watch a lot of Achievement Hunter videos, so I see of them, but they're a company, so they can afford shit like that to do all the crazy videos they do. And Rockstar knows that they have these YouTubers who will spend the money to get all these crazy things to then make videos of them.
I guess it's not loot boxes, but I would prefer it not to be there in the first place.
Or just affordable to, you know, the rest of us.
No, we're not the target. We're not the whale. We're the fucking minnow.
We sell to YouTubers.
We're not even the minnow. We're the fucking, like, anglerfish.
Yeah. It was deep in the darkest, dankest depths of degeneracy.
Man. I can't wait for somebody to make, like, a Monster Girl quest, like, offshoot, and it to become so inexplicably popular that it puts it in the mainstream.
Yeah. I mean, I think the franchise could conceivably have mainstream potential if it weren't hentai.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a way to make that work. I don't have the details of how, but...
there was a non-lewd manga about monster girls living with a dude because of like some.
Well, yeah, but the fact that they're monster girls already makes it like not mainstream.
Well, here's the thing about that manga though, is that there's a law in that universe in which humans can't have sex with like monster girls.
Okay, but they're sexualized monsters. That's what they are.
Yeah. I guess that
so
is...
Jim White, mainstream Americana man, is not buying.
Jim White. Of course you named him Jim White.
Good Christian American Jim White. Like, do it with regular monsters. Have a Quasimodo story, but with all sorts of different monsters.
An orc just chilling.
Sure.
This is my orc roommate, Gork.
Like, Ugly Americans was the closest thing we had to a Monster Girl Quest non-sexual thing. And that was, you know, raunchy adult comedy, so that didn't really have room for drama or seriousness.
I'd love it if there's a RPG style story about a guy who calls himself the Monster Lord and the humans, and they're at a war, except that both sides are exploiting the war so they could gain like profit on it. It's a two-sided war profiteering situation.
Yeah.
And so humans and monsters have to team up to like destroy both of them. This fucking endless war conflict aggression.
Or I guess the other kind of sort of attempt at that was that that shitty movie. What was the one with the "You better get your Shrek ass out of here"?
Oh, Bright. That movie.
It wasn't a comedy at the very least, right? Was it?
It had comedic moments, but it wasn't a comedy. It had moments where like the guy and his orc cop buddy were like in like the car, and they were listening to what sounded like heavy metal, and then Will Smith turned off, was like, can we listen to something else besides orc music?
That's offensive.
Oh man, no, he just sounded like a normal dude.
Yeah.
That's the thing about that series that is.
Oh, it was a series.
Not series, movie. The thing about Bright that kind of
ruined it
was the fact that all it was is that they just were like, hey, these are orcs. We'll just make them into like black dudes. Except there's also black.
Like, it was too on the nose as an attempt at racial commentary.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, we'll just make fantasy races into, like, actual races. And then,
Which, I mean, that's the thing about Monster Girl Quest, is that it's applicable to other forms of racism, but it's not that blatant about it.
It's unique racism.
Yeah.
It's racism specific to that world.
It's like, what would racism against orcs look like if there were actually orcs?
You know what? I don't think there would be, because orcs look scary as fuck. Who'd want to fuck with them?
Some people say that about black people.
Oh my god.
Some racist people.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Fair enough. Although, considering... Because you got the one stereotype of orcs in that they're angry and foul-tempered, but you got another stereotype in that they're just, like, rowdy, like, guys who love to drink.
Yeah.
And both can be true, but without necessarily being, like, true to every one of them.
And they basically have the same, like,
Just like how it would be racist to say elves are, like, dainty, like, sissies.
Yeah.
You can have some manly elves, just like you can have a dainty orc.
Okay,
That would be interesting. You have an orc who's, like, all campy, and then you have an elf that just looks like he's fucking solid snake. See, that'd be interesting!
Sure, we could write it. I did that with one of the Teddy Bear Island stories. There was a dwarf girl. A little scientist dwarf girl, instead of the, like, all the other dwarves are the little, like, surly fellas.
Yeah, sure. Oh, man.
I'm assuming I have to do this again, because I don't know how else to get into that cage.
Oh, man, I remember the Shadowrun verse had President Dragon.
Yeah?
I thought that was interesting. Was just the concept of, hey, our president is a dragon, and dragons, like, rule corporations and stuff.
How do you feel about how they handled King Furry in Abridged? Roof! Roof!
You know, if he actually exists, I would consider it racist, but you know what? It's fine.
He's just a dog. I mean, fuck it. He's the only furry that still appears in Dragon Ball Z.
after the furry purchase.
There were so many in Dragon Ball Classic, and they're just gone.
Maybe they just... I don't know.
Maybe they all went to a farm somewhere.
A nice farm. They all play with each other.
Can we visit him?
No, you can't.
Fuck.
Alas.
I'm gonna look around some more. If I can avoid doing this, I want to. Like maybe like the wall behind this can be kicked away or something.
So there are two like stereotypes of goblins, right?
Are there?
Yeah, there's two main ones that I remember. Goblins are either A, disgusting like little creatures that'll rob you, and also are like evil fuckers.
Yeah.
B, goblins are sluts.
I haven't heard that one.
That's it's weird because there's more than one like porn series that like alludes to the fact that goblins just can't get enough of that human D.
Are there?
Yeah, they're just you remember Corruption of Champions, right?
No.
No? That was that one where it's like the story is a human gets sent to like a fantasy realm to either satiate or stop the evil that's like on the other side.
No, I've never heard of this.
And then there's this goblin girl you can randomly encounter in the forest who, depending on your gender, will say one of two things. If you're a female, she looks at her and goes, "Hey, my name's Tamami." Yeah, Tamami, and she's like, "I own all cocks in this forest."
Okay.
Yeah, and if you say yeah, okay, sure, she like gives you rewards like okay later.
As long as you know who's in charge.
And if you're a guy, you automatically get she propositions you, and you can say yes or no.
At least she gives you the choice.
She doesn't. No, if you say no, she fights you.
At least she offers the choice.
The illusion of choice.
Yeah.
The nature of player agency.
That was the genie in Monster Girl Quest.
Yeah.
You can wish for anything you want as long as your wish is to fuck me. If your wish isn't to fuck me, I'm gonna ignore it and you can fuck me.
There's this other artist that draws like a goblin girl, and inevitably, but that's a hentai art. So everybody's fucking in hentai art.
Yeah, obviously.
So that's not really a fair comparison. I don't know why I'm so comfortable talking about it today. I guess I've just ran out of fucks to give. I mentioned this before.
I'm in your pool. Stop me. Oh, there's piranhas in there. A piranha. A very lazy piranha. Are there any gems in here? I'm not trying to fight the guy. I'm just looking if there's any money. And there does not seem to be any money in here. Alright. Nothing to rob.
Alright. So, I wanted to see if we can do a stream of Tomb Raider, the classic, at some point.
I'm sure we could. We have... I think both of us have the whole collection on Steam, right?
Yeah. I know I do. I don't know how difficult it would be to get it working, considering the era it was released, but if it's on Steam, I'm sure they've done some kind of patching to it.
Yeah.
Or some kind of patching is available.
I'm curious how, I wonder how much, like, patching needs to be done to RPG Maker games to put them on Steam. I guess older ones, specifically.
Older ones. There's a bunch of RPG Maker games on Steam.
Because I remember having, like, an absurd amount of difficulty back when I made RPG XP games to get them working on, later Windows.
Yeah, I wonder what, people still use. Do people use RPG Maker Ace still?
I don't know what I think the latest one might be VX or something. I don't remember. I know for a while some people were sticking with XP after the release of the one after that because it was easier to script for.
Yeah. Why do they make... You're making a game... You're making a program specifically designed to, like, make games, right? Just Make it easy to script for, so that you know people can customize it.
I need a key somewhere.
If you're making a base piece of software and it's hard to customize, you failed at making a software for creation.
Well, it is easy. It is easy to customize.
That one was, but not for like apparently for later ones.
RPG Maker XP was the way the script was basically be able to rewritten from the ground up into any kind of totally different game.
Yeah, which makes it a good piece of software.
Well, that defeats the whole purpose of being an RPG Maker, though, is what I was about to say. You might as well use. At that point, if you're gonna do that, you're just challenging yourself to see, look what I can make in RPG Maker. When you could have just, like, much more feasibly used Unity.
You're saying that it was, that the software should have been more restrictive?
I'm saying it's a cool novelty that you can rewrite it to that degree. It's not really necessary for an RPG Maker.
So what would you prefer? Some kind of happy medium, or for people to not fuck with the...
I mean, again, I'm glad that you could customize the script so much. I guess I'm more saying that that's not something that needs to be done to such an extreme degree as some creators took it.
Well...
And I don't know to what extent it's customizable in the one after that.
You gotta
so
keep
I don't
in
know
mind,
how much was lost.
You gotta keep in mind that, that with, RPGs, they didn't always have, like, just standard turn-based combat. They had, like, some mini-games as well.
No, and I get that. That's good that you can customize the script to that degree. Maybe you still can in VX. I don't know. I hope you can. That would be good.
That'd be cool. Anyway...
Being able to make a platformer is unnecessary. It doesn't need to be that customizable, is all I was saying.
Alright.
Or someone made, like, a realistic... Like, you remember, like, Eva, the chat bot that had, like, the face moving around? Someone programmed something like that in RPG Maker XP. And I don't know why they did it, but they did it.
Just to see if they could.
Yeah, just to see if they
could. You gotta understand something about certain kinds of coders, is that oftentimes they're not gonna do something to like, you know, sell it. They're gonna do something to see if it can be done. Because...
I mean, cool for him. I don't know how much attention his thing ever got, but I mean, you did it, man.
Probably more in the programming community.
Yeah.
There are groups of coders called like demo scene coders, and they have some pretty insane challenges.
Yeah.
Like, I think if I remember correctly, there was one dude who made like a shooter with like Quake 3 levels of graphics or some advanced stuff. And its like total file size was like less than a megabyte. Yeah.
In what?
In just like not in anything. Just like
is it like JavaScript.
I don't know what the exact code is, but he coded it that way, and I think they said it had enough size to fit into a floppy disk. Or I could be thinking of two separate projects.
It's cool that you can do these things. I always question the application is where I come from.
Well, imagine some guy taking his coding and taking it apart and figuring out how it works. You could take games that are like 50 gigs and recode them so that they're like more like a gig.
Depending on how it's done, yes, there might be some similar application like that. There might not be. There's the key.
Sometimes people just do experiments just to see what'll happen.
Yeah.
And that's something you accept about any kind of.
I know they're welcome to. I'm just saying I don't get it.
In it. Like, hey. I mean, I appreciate that you're trying to see the practical side of all of these, but sometimes people just do them just to do them. Like, why do people shove needles into their dick holes? They just do it just to see what'll happen.
Yeah. But how can you apply this?
That's how sounding was born, my friend.
Oh. I think that preceded needles.
Oh man, there was this like famous like criminal who was a known like masochist.
Yeah.
And he was like, he would like shove needles into himself from all different places.
Yeah.
And just to I guess just to feel because he was addicted to the pain.
Oh, okay.
just getting uncomfortable. It's like, oh, are you all right? No, it's another one of them needles. I'm full of them.
I like how he sounds like Zelos.
He's a horrible person who did a lot of, like, criminal shit, which is why I'm not really mentioning his name. I don't want to glorify him, but, sometimes people do stuff just to see what'll happen. And this has all been gem collecting, so it's a not-so-secret episode.
It hasn't been a secret. It was only a secret in the first game. I keep mentioning this.
Oh yeah.
Is that remember in Spyro 2 we did it at the end of the game.
Level complete.
Alright, this might be where we have to call it, because it's getting to be that time. What do we have left? So next time we'll come back, and I guess...
Bamboo Terrace.
Yeah, we can start from there, because we still have an egg missing there.
Yeah.
I don't know this game as well as Spyro 1 and 2. So we made some progress.
Yeah.
Not quite as much as I'd hoped, but
it's fine. We talked about a whole variety of topics.
We did. A lot of color. Welcome to the Fourth Seat Podcast episode. I guess episode 500 if you count our streams.
Are we on our 500? Is this our 500th episode?
No. We have we just passed 666 YouTube videos recently.
Oh yes, hail Satan.
And with that, I think we're done for the day.
I am out of fucks to give.
Thank you guys for watching.
All right.
As always, we'll be back.
Saturday probably.
Hopefully, that's the ideal.
Yeah, I'll have to double check my schedule, but I think Saturday is what we're going for.
Don't remember not to trust AAA devs or Trumps.
Yeah. or conservatives, basically.
See you later, guys.
See ya.